A massive storm is starting to form right now, and it will lead to significant severe weather, insane and potentially record-breaking heat, and heavy snow across the United States. A fast weather shift is underway as an intense surge of potentially historic warmth pushes north and begins to overwhelm the country. This setup that we are talking about will allow for storms to intensify quickly over the next few days. Our main concern is an increasing risk of severe weather, which begins today and ends late evening of Saturday. These conditions will become more favorable for strong to very severe thunderstorms, especially across central and eastern parts of the United States. Damaging wind, large hail, and a tornado outbreak are likely, especially on Friday, where an elevated risk of severe weather is in place over parts of Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, Tennessee, and Kentucky. When this system continues to evolve, some more cold air is going to begin to move in late Friday night into Sunday morning, causing all of the rain to transition to snow across a wide part of the country. With accumulating snowfall possible from parts of Texas all the way through the Midwest and in Michigan, this could lead up to a widespread 4 to 8 inches of snow in those areas. Even higher amounts of snowfall are possible in this same system. So in today's forecast, we are going to break down exactly what you need to know about this big storm that is going to be impacting the United States. And we have a lot to talk about today, but I want to go ahead and begin with our supercell composite, as a supercell is what forms a tornado, so we will be able to see how much energy we have to potentially form a tornado. So starting right now, we obviously don't have any in the United States currently, but as we move on into Thursday, we have this little bit to start to form down here close to areas like Jamaica and stuff, and as we move on into later, it actually moves up into Texas, so we will have a little bit of a chance for tornadoes, especially in areas like Texas, where it normally occurs, obviously. So we'll have some in Texas, Louisiana, Arkansas, Oklahoma, parts of eastern Oklahoma, even some up there in Missouri. And then this all sort of forms into the line storms. This will be tracking along with that big line of storms that we'll see later on in the video, but it continues to move sort of into parts of Alabama, which will have a big threat for tornadoes later on into Saturday around 3 a.m. So if you go to bed on Friday, make sure that you have anything to wake you up if you are in parts of Alabama, especially up there in northeastern Mississippi and northwestern Alabama, as well as in parts of around Birmingham, and just in between Mobile and Dothan. Make sure that you definitely have stuff set so that way you will receive alerts, as we will have a potential tornado outbreak. It might be the first tornado outbreak of 2026 to hit the United States. But this does continue to stay in place for parts of like southern Tennessee, as well as it moves into Georgia, and then it sort of fades back away. And then, yeah, nothing's going to really happen. And on to Tuesday. Alright, now let's go ahead and take a look at surface-based CAPE, which, if you have a tornado without CAPE, it is pretty rare, but it will just be like a low-end tornado. So, moving on into tomorrow, we do have some CAPE around parts of Texas, and Oklahoma. And we have some more CAPE start to move in, sort of into Louisiana, Arkansas, Texas. That does move into Mississippi. We'll have a decent amount of CAPE spreading all the way from Michigan through Indiana, Illinois, Tennessee, Kentucky, Missouri, Arkansas, especially parts of Louisiana, Texas, Alabama, which Alabama won't get too much of this, but it sort of starts to move into Alabama and then it just fades away. So like, as you can see right there, it starts to move into parts of Alabama, but then on the next thing it sort of stays, which right here, especially down here and down here, will have a threat for tornadoes, as we look at this, because that's a decent amount of CAPE for this system, as we have not had a lot of CAPE in this system, but there's definitely still signs of tornadoes that will be forming in Mississippi, Alabama, Tennessee, even into Georgia, Savannah, Georgia. But down here, just sort of in between Mobile and Dothan, will be one of these main threats for the tornado outbreak. As you can see right there, that's going to be a big threat for tornadoes, especially in southern parts of the state. So if you do live in Alabama, make sure you have James Span turned on. I will try to go live for this event. Let's see what time it'll hit Alabama. Yeah, I'll definitely go live for the Alabama and even parts of Mississippi event, because I do live in Alabama. So I'm not going to promise that my live streams will be stable due to power outages, internet connection, and if I have to like run downstairs or something and get like in a basement or something, if I have a tornado warning. If I do, I might go live on my phone actually, if I do have to. So that was our surface-based CAPE. Alright, now I do want to go ahead and take a look at our dew point, as if we watch this dew point down here, this system will start to pull moisture into the air, and it will sort of start to pull up from the Gulf all the way up into even parts of the northern United States, which right there, that is, moisture is a good ingredient to tornadoes. So we could still be seeing tornadoes out of the system, and then it sort of starts to fade away as we get into Saturday. But as you can see, it's really, the system starts to pull moisture into the air starting today, actually, around 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. Louisiana will be fully covered in moisture and stuff from the system pulling it in. So that means that you could see tornadoes of up to potentially EF3. I'm not saying that we won't see a tornado above that or below that. That's just my guess. So that moisture is a key ingredient to how strong the tornadoes are. So that was our dew point. Alright, now I do want to take a look at one more thing, which is the composite reflectivity. As we move on into later today, we have this sort of rain shower storm system start to fire up in parts of like Arizona, New Mexico, parts of Mexico, and it will move into Texas, Oklahoma, and that one continues to move off to the north. But as it does, this little bit right here begins to fall off of it. This right here will create its own storm system in the future. So just give it a minute. Voila, we have all this. And then we'll be receiving some severe weather all across these parts of the United States. Especially the eastern part is going to get hit pretty hard. I will admit that. So yeah. And then right here, we'll have some more storms. So pretty much the whole eastern side of the United States will get some storms. But let me go ahead and get the timing to see when I will be able to go live. Probably go live about 3:30. No, 4. Probably try to go live about 4 p.m. Central Standard Time. So that'll be when really getting hit hard on Alabama. Unless my school gets out early. And I will be in this system. Yay! But yeah, that's sort of the timing. But I really appreciate all of the subscribers that I have gained in the past week or so. Yeah, in the past week now, because today is January 7th. Started this channel on January 1st. Did not know if it was going to do good or not. But my goal is to hit 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. So if you don't mind, if your subscribe button looks like this, make sure to change it to this. It's completely free. Doesn't cost you anything. It just helps me be able to do this full time. And eventually be able to have this as my full-time job for y'all when I graduate. Starting it early, so that way that's what we can do, and that's how it can be one day. But it takes y'all to help me do this. Alright, click right here to subscribe to the channel that I go live on, so that way you are updated whenever I go live. This is one of your last days to do it. If you subscribe, put on the post notifications bell, it'll alert you whenever I go live during the severe weather events, so that way I can help keep you safe. Make sure to share this video with your family and friends, so that way I can get the word out to more and more people. Click right here if you want to subscribe to the video that I just post videos on, and click right here to watch my latest video. Anyway, I'll see you on the next video. Peace!